Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, we're looking at this. This is The Devil Ship Pirates from 1964. And I'd just like to thank Tony again. This is another of the films that he sent to me. And also, this is a Hammer film. I know I said I wasn't reviewing any more Hammer films, and we've gone on to the Hammer series, but yes, this is a Hammer film production. So, there we are. I just thought I'd throw that in. Right. So, now, this is, could be just easily described as a pirate adventure film. And Hammer had done one previously, which been quite a good success for them, which was The Pirates of Blood River in 1962, which incidentally was written by Jimmy Sangster and starring Christopher Lee. Yes, so there's parallels with this. It was a success, so why not go and make more? And that's what they did. Pirates were in. Yes, everybody loved the good pirates, and they aimed these at, well, the kids, really. They were looking at the kids, which is another interesting, particularly being Hammer and their notoriety for pushing the limits in terms of, horror and gore. It's very interesting. Anyhow, because this was a U certificate, yes. And they did push that U certificate. Definitely. They pushed their limits. Anyhow, this is 86 minutes long. And the screenplay, as I mentioned, is by Jimmy Sangster. Of course, a stalwart of these screenplays. Produced as well by Anthony Nelson Keys, another one. Now, the director, we've come across him before. Don Sharp. It's directed by Don Sharp, yes. Now, Kiss of the Vampire, 1963, a Hammer. Also, he did Face of the Fu Manchu, 1965, starring Christopher Lee, of course. And then, of course, he did the real classic Rasputin, the Mad Monk from 1966, which is, of course, starring Christopher Lee. You're getting a pattern here, aren't you? Then he directed The Brides of Fu Manchu from 1966. Then a film that we have come across before, Dark Places from 1973. That's really, really a good film. I have reviewed that, and it is just excellent. Also, he did Psychomania from 1973, which is like a biker movie. Very interesting film as well. He did that. Yes. Now, let's look at the cast. Christopher Lee, he of course heads the cast. He plays the pirate captain, if you want to say. And he's very, very good at it. He's just natural. It's interesting because with Christopher Lee, in terms of what he was doing with the Hammer Gothic stuff as Dracula, he often didn't have much in terms of script to do, did he? He didn't say a lot. But here, of course, he's the lead and he's carrying the film in many ways, and his performance is excellent. He proves in many ways that Hammer should often have taken more risks with him in some of his other roles, in the Dracula role, for instance. But there we are. I suppose they did move forward, but initially he was seen as a very quiet sort of chap, was old Dracula. But yes, here he is, starring. Then we've got another familiar face, Andrew Kier. He plays Tom. Andrew Kier, well, he was in A Night to Remember, 1958. I bring this up because it's considered a real classic about the Titanic. He was in Cleopatra, of course, 1963, another one. But his connection with Hammer, well, here we go. Dracula, Prince of Darkness, 1966, Christopher Lee. Here we are, Daleks, Invasion of Earth, 2150 AD, 1966. I love that. Doctor Who fan, as you know. Doctor Who, and Peter Cushing, of course, played the Doctor. Then we've got a film that I really love and I've talked about and reviewed fairly not too long ago either. Quatermass and The Pit, yes, 1967. And he's brilliant in that. And what a great film. I keep thinking about how good that film is. Brilliant film. And he was also in Blood from the Mummy's Tomb in 1971, which is probably one of the best of the Mummy films. It's excellent. Yeah, he was in that. What a great actors, you know. Then we got John Kearney playing Harry. He was in Victim, 1961, Cleopatra, 1963. Oh yeah, and sorry, I mentioned A Night to Remember. Again, another connection there. Then we've got Duncan Lamont playing the bosun. Now, he was in the Mutiny on the Bounty, 1962. That's the Marlon Brando, Trevor Howard one. We've got The Evil of Frankenstein. There it is. Another Hammer connection, 1966. And The Witches. He was in The Witches. Yes. Wow. What a film that is. The Witches. You just gotta love The Witches, haven't you? And he was in Quatermass and The Pit. Yeah. I mean, this is good, isn't it? The fact that he was in that. Also, I'm loving this because he was in a Doctor Who story. He was in Death to the Daleks, 1974, which is a John Pertwee final season story. Yes. He was in that, 1974. Fantastic. Then we've got Michael Ripper. Yes, I said it, I'll repeat it. Michael Ripper. And his part is a bit bigger than normal. He plays Pepper. It's Michael Ripper. Yeah, I used to talk about Michael Ripper all the time. He was in so many Hammer films, just making the appearances, you know, a coach driver or a landlord, something like that. I just checked, his last Hammer appearance was in Scars of Dracula, 1970, where he played a landlord. But there he is. He's quite an important part in this. He pops up quite a lot. Then we've got Ernest Clark playing Sir Basil, very much a TV theatrical actor. Gandhi's his major film, 1992. Then we've got Susan Farmer playing Angela. She was in Dracula, Prince of Darkness, 1966, and Rasputin, the Mad Monk, 1966. Oh, Christopher Lee links. Oh, it all links up, doesn't it? Yes. And then we've got Natasha Payne playing Jane, and she, I noticed, was in Father Dear Father, a comedy role from a successful TV series. Yes. Yeah, she's quite a big part in Father Dear Father. That's 1973. There was a thing about making these comedy series into films, which they did. Then she's in Madhouse. Yeah, this is a horror film, 1974, which has Vincent Price, Peter Cushing in it. Yeah, fantastic. So it was a good background there. Good background. So this was filmed at Bray Studios as usual, and not far from Bray Studios, there was this gravel pit, and they flooded it out, but had to be very careful with the filming because they were building a motorway nearby. And on this gravel pit, they built a galleon. Yes, they built a galleon that we see in it, the production. They had to be very careful with the angles, but that's fantastic. You know, you think how they do these special effects, and it's all done in a practical way, and they built the galleon and did everything on there. Now, apparently, guess what? It capsized, and there's on this DVD, there's an interview with various people talking about this, which happened. It could have been very serious, and you know, for the cast and crew, but fortunately nobody was seriously hurt. But yeah, it was quite a big thing. But there it is, you know, practical Hammer again doing what they do. And of course, in Bray Studios, they'd constructed this whole village. I mean, no, it does look like Cornwall, doesn't it? It's all believable. That's so good about Hammer. Fantastic. As I said, this was aimed at kids as well, really. They were hoping to get that sort of audience. School holidays, things like that, you know, get out there. Well, let me just talk about what the film is about. It's set in 1588, lad. 1588, yes. And they're a pirate ship, but they're involved on the Spanish side in the Spanish Armada, in the battle, you know, the great battle that took place against the English. You know, they were trying to invade was Spain, and we fought them off, and you know, all that stuff. Anyhow, now they suffer quite a lot of damage, and they're a pirate ship, and they've got their own agenda, what they want to do. They not want to be stuck with Spanish, but what they do is they decide that they need to get repairs done, and they go along the English coast and find this place that they can go into, a village where they can get repaired and everything. But they have to convince the villagers that, well, that they've defeated the English and they're here. And it's a lie, of course, but they have to make them believe that, so they then can get them working on it, and they try and protect themselves and saying, you know, so they don't get help. And that's how the story develops. And it goes along at a great rate, and it's really involved. You really get involved in it. The standard of acting and performances, set pieces that are there, everything about it is great. It feels very authentic. It does. It's really good, you know, and so enjoyable. I mean, everybody likes a bit of pirate, don't they? Yes, it was the fashion at the time, pirate films. But here we are. Yes, fantastic. And it's a great ending. Absolutely, the ending is really climatic, and it's really good. It's a fantastic, and you're really with it all the way, and you can see why the kids would have enjoyed this. It's an adventure, but it's great, and Christopher Lee is amazing in it. Absolutely, and as are the whole cast. If you've not seen this, why not? Enjoy it, because that's what it is. It gives you that enthusiasm for films, you know, when you're just looking for something just to enjoy, nothing too deep or anything. This is the kind of film you could just enjoy it. It's great. And as I say, it's got, you know, lots of action in it, and pushing that limit, because you've got flogging. Yeah, you know, the flogging them, and the sword fights, and, you know, explosions, and all sorts of things going on. Yes, and, well, you've got to love it. You've got to, really. And that's it. Just before I go, I'll just show you this. There it is again. Look, there. And there's the back. And as I say, it's got some amazing extras on here. It's absolutely fantastic. And the quality, wow, the quality was amazing. I was watching it. There's the disc, and there's a booklet there. Fantastic. This is a great release by Network. It's so sad, when I look at this and think, oh no, it's gone now, Network. But yeah, they did such a great job on the documentaries. Fantastic. And that's it. So thanks, Tony. Thank you again. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Then we'll let you know when I produce these videos. And you can always check the playlist and see what I've done. Have a look at what I've done. And if you like this video, please give it a like. It gets it out. It's good for the channel, hopefully, he says. And it gets into algorithms and all that stuff. And more people might like it. Or perhaps they won't. And, if you've got any comments as well, please put your comments in. I love to read your comments. And as we say in all cost notes, and you can't say fairer than that, can they? Buy it, you can't. And that's it. So, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.